I gave Fury a concussion that night. I'm so close to unifying the division. I became close many a times, but Ruiz is a part of my stable. Because he went back to his corner one time and said, what did he hit me with? You know, I'm like, dang, was he that fast?
Sometimes, Deontay, when people sit down with you, there's so much to talk about. We do this fight and that fight and something you've said and something someone said about you. Sometimes we forget that there was another Deontay Wilder once, all those years ago, that didn't have everything in front of him, wasn't draped in silver, gold and wearing golden boots and wasn't flying first class around the world. That wasn't that long ago.
Most definitely. You know, there was a time where I was building, you know. There was a time where I wanted to be a heavyweight champion of the world, where every guy that gets in this business, that should be the main goal, is to one day to be a champion. I've seen so many people elevate and do great things, you know, as I sat back and lingered and looked upon, you know. And now that I had got the opportunity to fight for a world title, I took full advantage of it. And now I'm the longest reigning champion, you know, 9 title defenses, 41 and 40 KOs, you know. It's just amazing to see where I were and where I am now. You know, it's such a blessing. Man, I started out from the very, very ground bottom, you know, ground zero, you know, even after the Olympics, you know, I wasn't a big...
People weren't chasing you like mad.
Exactly. You know, although I was Olympian, I was the only one to medal in boxing from my country, I still wasn't an Olympic sensation. After the Olympics, you know, I started at back at the bottom, you know, and it was amazing just to come from the Olympics and still fight in club shows and still have to work my way up. You know, I learned so much, and, you know, I wouldn't take no other path because I sat back, I was marinating, you know, taking everything in, and when I got my opportunity to be one of the kings, I'm here.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with, there's a Marvin Hagler quote, and he was talking about going for road running at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And he was saying, you know, you probably know the quote. He's saying that, you know what, it's easy getting up when you've got nothing to go out running at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's easy getting up when you've got a couple of things to go running at 5 o'clock in the morning. But it's really hard to get up and go running at 5 o'clock in the rain when you're wearing silk pajamas, you've got silk sheets, and you've got millions in the bank. Does it get harder?
Oh, hell yeah. It get real hard, you know, because you get to a point where you feel like you made it. You definitely, since somewhat of success, you got millions in the bank account. You know, you got your money invested where you get to the point where you can live off the interest. You know, don't get no better than that. After a while, you just receive a check in the mail then. You know, I'm very smart with my money. A lot of people don't understand me because they don't know me. You know, I'm very smart with my money and what I do.
Business projects.
Exactly. I have 8 kids, so I have to make sure I do the right things with my money. Although I have a lot, but, you know, I save a lot. I'm a big saver. And it's just a blessing just to be able to be here, to talk about this, oh my God, I've came a long way in this sport, man. It's been a journey for me. But it's just amazing to be able to still be here. So much things is going on in boxing, you know. I'm gonna write a book though when it's over with, all the challenges that I overcame. It's gonna be amazing because I feel like I'm a myth buster in boxing. You know, you have your old school trainers, you say you don't supposed to do this, you don't supposed to do that. Like, I'll give you an example that would be in there. My very first fight, my debut, 2 hours before my debut, I had sex, right, with my wife. And, you know, I got horny, okay?
Did you forget you were fighting?
I forget,
or did
man,
you just love your wife so much?
Man, both at that time. And I remember afterwards, I was like, oh, shoot. I got a fight coming up or whatever. But I was telling my head, well, I went slow, so it ain't gonna be.
So you lied to yourself.
I didn't use too much energy, so I should be all right. You know, but I went out there and, you know, actually gave me a lot of stamina, you know, a lot of energy.
So it's like a warm-up.
Yeah, for real. That's well said. It was well the words to put it in.
But did you tell the people around you what you'd done?
No.
To this day?
They know now, but they only found out maybe a few months ago. You know what I mean? They never knew this. I never exposed that to any of them. Like, man.
Was that the last time you used that specific, unique warm-up?
Well, nah.
You used it a few more times?
I used it one more time. You know, and it was in a a very recent fight. You know what I mean? So
You can't give us a clue.
but I like to have challenges for myself. Because sometimes I feel like it's so easy because I have power and I know I can get guys out there at any given moment. I'm an artist of what I do. I know how to set guys up. A lot of people don't pick out the greatness of me. They always talk about the wrong because they never seen a type of style of mine. But I'm very smart. My intellect is very high up in the ring. If I didn't have boxing skills, I wouldn't be able to set a person up with the jab. I wouldn't be able to follow behind with a right hand, nor would I be able to have a combination with the left hook. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know how my feet are supposed to be spread. And when I'm ready to throw the right hand, I know exactly how much weight, how much speed, and how much torque I need on myself to do it. If I didn't, I wouldn't be 40 on a 49 KO. Not only do I do it continuously, but I do it consistently as well, too. So I'm proven.
Sometime in November, it's going over old ground with Luis Ortiz. Was that the hardest fight of your life so far, Ortiz?
I would say it's the most challenging fight. It definitely was a test for me. It was very challenging to have this guy with so much experience, and every time I threw, he countered. Just like I had to be. When I first did it, I'm like, oh, I hit like a matrix or something like that because he threw me off guard how quick and fast he responded to me. And as the fight goes on, I tried to decode him. I tried to see what it is. I know every time I put the bait out there, he'll bite it or whatever. And it became an interesting fight until I started figuring him out.
So that was a smart Deontay Wilder there.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
A smart and cautious Wilder because I know Ortiz was hungry and I know he had way more experience than I. So I had to be very cautious, what I did with him.
And he's coming up. And was it your idea to fight him? Was there a short list, or was it just the man? Did you say, let's give him another chance? A lot of people are talking about that round when he caught me, when he hurt me, and neglect him when I finished him. By the way, so was it your idea? Was he on your list?
He was definitely my idea. I mean, I always look at the landscape of the heavyweight division, see what's going on, and I consider Ortiz as one of the best for sure. None of these fighters that's at the top will have any type of high rankings in the rankings, especially in the top 15, want to fight Ortiz. Yeah, but they always use the excuse of he's old. And my thing is, if he's old, then get him out of the way. That's easy money.
Should be easy to fight then.
Easy. But no one wants to fight him. So I look at this and I say, for the first fight, I had a connection with him due to his daughter. My daughter was born spina bifida, and his daughter had some type of, rare skin disease, and I know it takes a lot of money when you're dealing with special needs children. And, although he had the PD things going on, I still blessed him to come in because I wanted him to be able to support his daughter. The second time around, I'm coming in, not only do nobody wants to fight him, but I want to bless him again, while we got this thing we got going on, this saga in the heavyweight division, trying to figure out who is the king of the division. And I'm looking forward to seeing who is that one champion, that one face, and that one name.
Back in December, you of course had 12 rounds, which seemed like 15 hard rounds against Tyson Fury. I was interviewing you in the ring, and it was a bit chaotic. Did you enjoy that fight?
I did. I enjoyed that fight very much so. It was a moment in time where, when I came out in the entrance, I looked around, and I felt the energy. I was like, wow, they as far as boxing in America, it's like it's on notice now. It's just live now. You know how long I've been trying to get that to go that way? People don't understand in America is so totally different. Like, the environment, how boxing is structured and how business is worked there, and how the landscaping of boxing, competing against other sports. And so we have so many different sports and you have to compete against them. And here I am, finally have this one opportunity. Well, I won't say one opportunity, but I have this opportunity to capture the world. We got our own date. I'm not fighting against other, sports, football, basketball, MMA. I will not fight. It's just this solid date. And I'm like, wow, this is the moment, And it made me so excited that I wanted to do something that I know I can do. And that's force the knockout. I gotta get a knockout. I got to. And I wasn't gonna leave until I did, But overall, although it was a controversial fight, it was an amazing fight, and I think we add value to the heavyweight division even more that night.
You say you were looking for that knockout, and you looked like you had it. There's that great film of you going away and celebrating and looking up and a big smile on your face.
Blowing kisses.
And then blowing kisses, then suddenly you turn around and you see him rising.
Yeah.
Now, I know I asked you in the ring that night, but what went through your head when you looked at him getting up?
I was like, are you serious? You know what I mean? It was a shock though. It was one of those shocks, and then I was like, all right, let's go. I remember saying, all right, let's go. But it was amazing to do that. I gave Fury a concussion that night. When a man don't know how he got knocked down, nor how he got up, that's concussions. That's sign of concussions all day. I've gave many guys concussions to realize and understand, where it is, even in sparring. I'm very familiar with it. But it was amazing, man. I'm looking forward to the second one as well.
And is it going to happen? Are we going to see number 2?
Yeah, most definitely. It's definitely going to happen. That's for sure. And we're looking like at the early ages of next year sometime. So I'm looking forward to that one when it comes. And I'm looking forward to the promotion part of it and announcing it and just seeing the reaction of people as they get excited and leading up to the fight. Although I have a great challenge at hand with Luis Ortiz, but like I always say, I don't look past a fighter, but I do look through you. I window shop a little bit, and I already see Tyson Fury next. So, it's going to be an amazing fight to get both of these guys out the way again and move on to the big one. That's the main thing I want. I'm so close to unifying the division. I became close many a times, but in this instant and moment in time, I'm even more closer because Ruiz is a part of my stable as well. So,
well, I saw pictures of you with him. He seemed like he's a decent guy. He's a nice guy. He's an honest guy. He's a family guy. Have you and him had a chat about the two of you fighting at some point?
Well, not personally, but as you can see, Ray Mancini, he poked at it, and Chris Myers, been on the network. They poked at it a little bit and stuff like that, and that was like the first discussion I ever had about it, with him or with anyone in person. People already know my energy. I'm ready to go. I've been talking about this. This is the moment I've been waiting for, so you don't have to ask me. I'm ready. I'm just waiting on that opportunity. I'm waiting on that date and that time, And right now we got obstacles in front of us, but when it all clears, it's a straight path right to it, And I'm looking forward to it.
A, were you shocked? And B, what do you think Joshua should do? If you were Joshua, what would you do now?
Yeah, well, number one, I wasn't shocked at all because I was one of those type of people that I knew who Andy Ruiz was. In my eyes, he's still an undefeated fighter because I was one of the people that feel like he beat Parker as well, So I knew him very well, and I always known him to have good boxing skills and to have a brave heart, to be tough. And that's every bit of him. It's another thing in my book I'm gonna talk about with that situation right there, and getting that opportunity to do that.
And grasping it.
Yeah. So I let him enjoy, but all that'll be in the book of what happened, how that was orchestrated and arranged for him to do that. But I wasn't surprised at all to see that. And if I were Joshua, the way he lost. I would take a tune-up because he don't know how he lost. He got knocked down 4 times. And in my opinion, he quit. I know the signs and the body language of a fighter. I know what to look for. Certain things like spitting out the mouthpiece, buying more time. Referee telling you to come. This is not a break. He telling you this is not a break, and you still going to the neutral corner. That's a sign. Looking over at the corner. That's a sign. When you're not responding back to the referee, you're giving him the indication that you don't want to do this no more. Now you're forcing him to stop the fight. It's a sign. He quit that night. And for that reason, if I was him, I would try to get a tune-up to get my mindset back right, to make sure I understand everything. Because he went back to his corner one time and said, what did he hit me with? I'm like, dang, was he that fast? And little things like that. And then when he fight him, no matter if he fight him here or fight him there, he's gonna be facing his demons over again, knowing that he beat me and I don't understand it. But Joshua had to take initiative of his own career. He had to say, to his people, because I know he's a rock in a hard spot because his people want him over here. Ruiz talking about coming over there, and Joshua wants to come and correct his wrongs, which that's the most respectful way to do it. Go back and get your title. You know, that's like legacy thing. That's something that you can leave for your kids and say, my dad, he lost his title in America, but you know what? He went back and he whooped ass and got it back. Now that's a heroic story. Then coming to, which I understand both sides of how it is, but it's a lot going on with that situation. I think it was a lot of pressure for him, you know, dealing with a lot of pressure. And, you know, having to come to America the first time and to try to perform, you know, equal or better than I. That's a lot to deal with, you know. So whatever he does, you know, is on him. But if I would see him, I would tell him, you know, follow your heart. You know, go with your intuition. It's free. We're very powerful. Our words that we speak is very powerful, you know, that we release out to the universe. You know, it's always those times where we say, I knew something was going to happen. I feel it. It's your intuition telling you. And the thing about it, as humans, we don't listen to it sometimes. We ignore it, and things happen. And I just tell them, go with your intuition of how we feel. He's the product. He is the machine behind all this. And he has the biggest say-so, so he should follow her. Like I said, I always say we are the one risking our lives in the ring for others' entertainment. Promoters, managers, they're gonna be around to the life of them. Fighters, we're limited. This is a young man's sport. We got to get it while we can, and in the midst of doing that, we must be smart and we have to move. We have to move in a smart way.